Leo, sun, moon, and rising, August of 2025 is going to be a very lucky month for everyone. But each of us has this luck of Jupiter, Venus together in Cancer in one part of our sky. And for you, it's going to be illuminating a deeper meaning and purpose in your life. Some of you will have opportunities for travel to far off lands and distant shores, even to the point some of you may experience a desire for spiritual retreat or spiritual pilgrimages or journeys. The other thing about this month is we have some critical turning point intensities in your finances, and that's that first 10 days of August. And we're going to talk about that as well. All said and done, August turns out to be a gnarly first 10 days, and then we move into this beautiful sky for the rest of the month. We're going to break it down for you bit by bit in chronological order so you can make your own life flow with better ease and grace because you're moving in alignment with the sky, not against it, not pushing against the currents. Well, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses. Of course, fixed stars and minor asteroids are always in my astrology, put out 20 to 30 videos every month. All of them are all signs. If you want to give me a try, I'd really appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe. The only thing I want to share as well is that I'm teaching my Sky Reader class this August. And the whole course is about timing your best life, being your own astrologer. So Sky Reader is starting out in September and runs all the way through mid-September to the third week of October. Come join me. I'd love to see you there. We have a Discord group, a Facebook group for connecting with other students. We have a weekly Q&As. The course itself, all replays are available forever. You get to keep the content in my teaching platform. If you can't make all the classes, no big deal. And I never sell this course. It's only taught live once a year. So if you're interested in learning with me, from me, come aboard my Sky Reader class. In the description box is everything you need to know, like the link to the course description page, the link to the early bird discount wait list where you're going to get a discount code to use when the doors open on July 31st for enrollment. So if you're not on the discount list, you may not see that code and you want to definitely get a discount because everybody wants to make money last and go longer. And we're all struggling, I guess, with the tariffs and the economy. So I've got some really good pricing on this year's course. So let's talk to you now. Let's talk to you now about your sky, Leo. I'm so sorry. Some of you Leos say I give you guys not enough time on my channel. I've got nothing against Leos. I have Leo friends. So part of it is always what's going on in the sky for each sign and who has more action. So you get a longer read because there's clusters of planets activating your sign. But I'll make sure that you get the 25 to 30 minutes that every sign is getting on the month ahead forecast. Alrighty. So let's get started. And I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac, right? So this is not sidereal. Don't confuse it. Listening today. If you want to listen for your rising sign, it's like the simulation avatar. It's the character you're playing in this game of life. It often is the most circumstantially accurate for changes in one's life. And you know your time of birth. You can learn how to cast your chart in whole sign houses and get your rising sign in my free tutorial down below. Otherwise, if you're listening for your sun sign, that's also useful. And often it kind of leans more towards purpose, more towards career matters. So keep that in mind. And finally, your moon sign can connect you more strongly to matters to do with your home, your domicile, your property, where you live, and your home life. So let's get started. Let me show you the sky and let's roll in the next 25 to 30 minutes through the Leo sky. There you are on the eastern horizon. That's the Leo symbol. That's set for the ascendant, someone's Leo rising. This is also where the sun is at the time of my recording. When we talk about sun sign astrology, we pretend the sun is in the first house, in its domicile, in its sign. So we pivot your sun into the first house, same with the moon sign. So we're treating the sun and moon sign as first house placements. So that's how that trick works. Now, it does accurately portray stories in our lives. So First off, what do we have to say about the idea of early August when I told you it was a bit of a difficult sky? Remember I talked about watch out, duck for falling yuckiness. Well, the whole world gets difficulties in the first 10 days or so. So don't feel persecuted, guys. And Leos, I know that sometimes you can feel like that way when things happen that don't go according to your design. So August 1st to the 2nd, Venus will square Saturn and Neptune at the very same time. That's because she's moved into Cancer after having moved through the sign of Gemini from basically, I'm trying to remember when she entered into Gemini. anyway, for 3 weeks before August the 1st and 2nd. My brain's not going to tell you the answer right now. And as she moves through now, August 1st and 2nd, she's entered into the sign of Cancer. The major thing you're going to notice is that she's going to square a retrograde Saturn. This is going to bring you into a moment of tension regarding things that you wish to do alone in solitude or in contemplation, that you want to get a creative project done, you want to work on some kind of backroom deal or thing that you're working on behind the scenes. Maybe it could involve a travel opportunity or plan that you're trying to get going behind the scenes to a distant shore of foreign land. Jupiter is exalted there, giving you a lot of power in the 12th house. We'll get to that shortly. And then Saturn has got his hand up and he goes, wait a minute, you don't have your passport renewed? Wait a minute. This country is closing its borders. Wait a minute. The airline is canceling its flights. There can be, from the 9th house to the 12th house, disruptions in travel plans or travel disruptions as you're on the road. That's just the 1st and the 2nd of the month. It doesn't last very long, July 31st to August 2nd. But also at a deeper level, Saturn with Chiron Neptune is in the house of Dharma, the meaning of life, what you wish to accomplish in life, where you want to aim for being on purpose and using your gifts and talents in this world. And Saturn is going to help you become masterful at something over the next 3 years. So when Saturn was in my 9th house, I studied Hellenistic astrology and I became masterful at it. So you have a sense of wanting to achieve a mastery here over the next 3 years of something meaningful and something important. And with Chiron up there, Chiron is saying the same thing. You've been dealing with a sort of a wound around father figures, higher education, court and legal matters, book publishing, academics, all of that since 2019. Because ultimately, Chiron is asking you to get purposeful and meaning oriented. Well, on the other hand, as a mentor, teacher, healer, guide in the house of advising people, he may have given you a lot of backup support from therapists, guides, spiritual counselors, ever since 2019, coaches, all of that. But here we have this time frame where I just want to make you aware of a feeling of grit in your shoe. It doesn't last more than 2 days. So maybe July 31st to August 2nd, this too shall pass. Something isn't going exactly the way you wanted. On August the 8th to the 10th, and we'll start a little earlier, 6th or 7th to the 10th, that second into a little bit of the first into the second week of August is where the big grid is, not just for you, but everybody is going to have this problem in our sky. Now, Saturn will be opposite. Mars will be opposite Saturn. Here's August 7th. Other time zones, it'll start up late in the night, evening on August 6th. When it starts exactly isn't as important as the idea that from about August the 6th to the 10th, Mars is in a disagreement with Saturn, forming a very intense kite in the sky. Now, kites can be positive, but still the backbone is in opposition. If you can go back to April of last year, you planted a seed during the time that Saturn and Mars co-joined together. And there's a sense of that you're at the kind of turning point, critical opposition energy to accomplish something that you're trying to accomplish. I'll be covering this in a lot of detail in a single video. It's not great for the world. It's not great for the world, but for you, it may not be anything more than, oh my gosh, I'm pushing against a situation involving a father figure, a guide, a coach, a mentor, a professor. Those are a pastor. Those are 9th house people. Or visas, travel, passports, foreign lands, distant shores. Mars is in a travel house as well. So we're getting to some frustration, some confusion around travel plans for some reason. 3rd house is a house of the sibling one younger than you. There can be some crisis or problem going on with the sibling one younger than you that comes as a shock or a surprise with Uranus involved. And we might also find with Pluto involved some turbulent relationship stuff as well going on at the same time. But it all kind of smooths out because Mars is in a gorgeous air trine here. So it's really maybe your spouse, your elder sibling, your sibling one younger, are actually allies for something that's really frustrating you. And it may involve learning, travel, teaching, writing, frustration. Okay. And disruption perhaps as well because of Uranus. All said and done, This is trying to make something good out of something difficult because of the trine of air involved. And so you have to kind of take a few deep breaths, because it's not all under your control. This could even be some really big dispute with a neighbor or a childhood friend. And a control energy here. Saturn can be very constricting, constraining, and Mars is going to bust out, but he's like passive aggressive in your third house. Watch out for like road rage episodes, seriously. Finally, what can you do to preempt this or to move with the flow? I would suggest that you be very willing to adapt to changes in any plans for travel or any kind of disruption in your social media sphere or your creative and writing projects or your learning and teaching situations. There's going to be some changes that you don't expect. They're trying to make something good happen. The frustration you feel, it may be because someone's opposing your agenda. At the end of the day, you're the boss of you, Leo. And so even in that regard, let it go for a while, let the dust settle, and then let yourself make decisions about the travel, the learning, the education, etc. Now, lastly, in Hellenistic astrology, you can move if your IC is in the third house floating there. A lot of people who have their IC floating in the third house may choose to move. And I will say for you, more than that, because your fourth house is ruled by Mars, this could be tension against a father figure or a father, and a desire for you to change your home or move your home. You could be moving in with a friend, moving in with a romantic partner, and you're getting blowback from father figures, authority figures, people who think they know better for you what you need. So you're going to push through that, I'm sure of it. Okay. Your agenda will be favored by a sextile between Mars and Leo. So you're going to get your way. Okay. After that tension, we move more fully into the second week of the month. And the second week of the month is going to bring up some beautiful energies for you and for the world. First things first, the first thing you're going to notice is a full moon at 16 Aquarius on the 9th of the month. Now, a full moon in Aquarius is in the relationship house. And certainly if you started a new relationship roughly 6 months earlier from August, then this full moon can definitely fulfill something by taking an existing relationship further, moving in, getting married, getting engaged, declaring monogamy. If the relationship is going well, that may be a story. And maybe that's why some of you might move. However, this is also a full flashlight or spotlight in the house of spousal marriage, committed love, long-term love. And there's an inspection here. And full moons are kind of like, let's see what's really here. And if we don't want it, we'll end it, completion. If we want it, we'll fulfill it. And with Pluto there, it's transformational and powerful. If you got involved in a new relationship since January with Pluto there, you're meeting powerful, wealthy, dynamic, transformative power of love, regenerating love, cathartic love, deep love stories. This is not any old love story. That said, those married people are looking for a very big revision, revising, and rebirth and death in their marriages, because this is going to be a Plutonian next 20 years or next 18 years left. Having this story, though, of the full moon to complete this story in your seventh house can have you really fulfill some objectives with your general public. If you're somebody who has an audience, fans, client base, public in your career space, for the seventh house is 10th from the 10th, then you're going to be shining like a big light there. Full moon energy brings success, fame, glory, and you could be going through a little of all of that, breaking into a new level of exposure and light to your public and your audience. Also happening right in proximity to this lunation is, as we move to the 10th and the 11th, Saturn and Uranus come into a sextile that is perfecting, because it's been tickling you and tickling all of us for the last month, all through July. Now it is exact. So there's a nice feeling of some maybe relief for something coming to a culmination or fulfillment after you've been feeling it for a while. Shock, awe, excitement in the career gains house, earnings, resources, or the elder sibling connected to your own stable gains in the idea of purpose. If you work in a field of endeavor where you are the advisor, the coach, the guide, the hand of the king, they're like the second in command to someone in power. This is going to give you an electric bolt of increase in your career success and gains, a raise, a promotion, more money. And it's going to surprise you in some way. It could feel like, wow, that's a nice quantum leap to a new level of success. If you want to get money from a court case, kaboom. If you want to travel with an elder sibling, yes, but the energy is exhilarating and surprising at some level, or just plain like a wonderful feeling of breaking through. Remember, Saturn and Uranus are still involved in that Mars activated kite. So it's still a part of that story where the frustration was there. But now this sweet little corner of the kite and the tip of the kite have breakthrough energy for you. Look for friends, allies, and benefactors to step out of the woodwork to give you a hand in whatever it is you're trying to do. Move your home, accelerate your career success, increase your career gains, and those sorts of narratives. Now, the next thing to pay attention to here is the most exciting story of the month, which is, of course, once every 12 years, Jupiter will encounter Venus in Cancer and they will join hands once every 12 years. Last time it would have been 2013 in the late summer. Here we have it again. What is this for? It's something along the lines of luck, and luck times 2 in the 12th house. Lucky breaks in digital revenue, foreign income, money made from abroad, people from foreign places or foreign countries. Kaboom, you're very lucky. Because this energy is also in a square to the Chiron, Neptune, Saturn, it could activate exciting lucky breaks that require decisions around academic environments, higher education opportunities, travel abroad opportunities, and even Venus, Jupiter can mean luck from traveling to foreign lands and distant shores. If you're a spiritual type looking for a guru, teacher, or guide, this could be a lovely energy of a, wow, I just got into Gangaji satsang or something, or whatever. Take your spirit, Adyashanti, Eckhart Tolle. I just got some spiritual lucky break. I get to go to something with a spiritual guide, ashram, teacher, pilgrimage. These are stories that can happen here. And it doesn't have to be spiritual, just teacher. Maybe you want to sign up for a course and you're so lucky that they accepted you, or the spots opened up to make way for you. Creative or artistic projects done home alone will yield great fruit and success. Venus rules your 10th house. Ideally, these creative and artistic projects are involving matters to do with your career, and that can bring you the greatest success. Also, Jupiter rules your chunky money house, where the North Node is increasing chunky money, unearned income in particular, tax rebates, insurance payouts, inheritance monies, investments paying off, residual income like ad income. Well, suddenly there's this big, nice boost on your finances as well, coming off the Venus-Jupiter conjunction. This is not a paycheck, though. That's what's interesting. Somebody may even give you money, and that I don't know where that would come from, but there's a lot of things that could happen. Jupiter rules your house of good fortune, including lottery tickets. So, you're going to come into a bit of maybe a money chunk, so to speak, from the 8th house. And again, you're going to feel that energy of those two planets coming together August 10th to the 12th. And that's what you should be waiting for. It could even last until the 13th. So I'll show you what I mean. Watch that. It's 11th, 12th, 13th, and it's beginning to wane. So August 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Let's spread it out a bit. Look at this conjunction for me. It's a very lucky sky for you, especially regarding chunky money, career ascendancy, etc. Now, let's move into the third week of August. Also, particularly all positive. I mean, seriously loving this August sky for us individuals so much more than last month or at the beginning of this month. Take your pick. Oh, yeah, I did that. Did I do that for you? Did I miss something? No, I didn't. I got the full moon in Aquarius. So in the third week of August, starting on the 14th and lasting till about the 17th, Mercury will sextile Mars. And that's really good for, in quotes, commercial success. Marketing and selling is Mercury's wheelhouse, and Mars is Mr. Dynamic Action. And what we see here, we see it right here on the 13th, is a perfect relationship between them with the sun shining brightly in the Leo sky. Now, just so you know, like the third week of July to the third week of August, every year this happens. The sun goes through your sign, sun on sun, sun on your Leo moon, or sun on your rising. If the sun is on your rising sign, placement, your Leo rising, then this sometimes is a very difficult transit because the sun can be very heating and drying and intense energy, or a lot of brilliant light shining right on your character or your body. So sometimes it can be really hard to feel that much brightness going on for the time this is happening. Just keep aware of overheating, fevers, rashes, heat stroke, and that kind of thing as the sun moves through your sign of Leo. But on another note, with Mercury here, Mercury has something to say. You want to send the email, you want to write, you want to communicate, you want to market or sell something, or you have a new idea and Mars is chiming in saying, I'll execute it, I'll make it happen in the house of writing with a sign of Libra library book. Good for Leos who are writers. I'll make it happen in the house of teaching, learning, traveling, marketing, and selling. This combination of the sextile can bring some success to you, but you're taking it on. You have the idea, you have the marketing skills, you have the messaging skills to make something positive happen. It's great for setting up a new website, an online store or shop, promoting a course, promoting something you're wishing to offer the general public. It might not even be too bad for getting a job in a local store if that's something you want to do, a local community center, that kind of thing, a local venue. If you're single, you could maybe get a date off of this. It'd be really a stretch, but you could go to a local pub or bar or go onto Tinder or any of the dating apps, and you may meet somebody off of this. Just want to say, with Jupiter and Venus co-joined, and Jupiter's exalted, you would meet somebody that would be sort of foreign to you or hail from a different place, a culture that's different, religious background that's different. But it could be very good for dating apps as well. Mars is in the house of dating apps or just doing local things. And lo and behold, maybe you're going to bump into a new relationship for a single Leo here. And Mercury, as he talks to Mars, is opposite Pluto. So again, there's that sense that maybe you might have something that you really have to square away with a significant other, some deep conversation that requires you to like write it out. Dear marriage partner, here's what I really think about us, or something like that. There could be a difficult conversation that's kind of aggressive, but you're going to put it into Venusian terms by writing it down or communicating it gently. It could be one of those we need to have a talk moments as well. Just know that could be a story here that you encounter in August around the 13th, give or take a day on either side. I'd say you're going to feel it the 13th and the 14th. And the 15th and the 16th to the 17th. Yeah, it's pretty active, guys. Mercury and Mars keep tracking with each other, which is very unusual. It begins to wane on the 18th, okay? So we could say there's a lot going on for you all at once, like August the 14th or 13th to the 18th, about that difficult conversation if you're having it with a significant other. But it's good for other things, as I said, promoting a project, going on that first date, hitting the dating apps, all of those things that could come from the third house. It's also the house of learning, so teaching and learning environments and negotiating, communicating, setting it up, that kind of stuff. On the 14th to the 17th as well, Venus is in a trine to the North Node of Fate. Now, the North Node of Fate in Pisces for this trine to happen is every 18 to 20 years. So about 2 times usually on average, sometimes only once. So it's somewhat rare, this flow between Venus and the North Node. North Node wants to increase your chunky money. So that means money that you don't earn directly, investments, retirement investments, passive income, shared resources with a partner or spouse, money that comes to inheritance. And there's an attempt by the sky to increase those monies for you. And now Venus wants to support that. So it could come, as I said, the 12th house money is from foreign places and distant shores. And that in our modern day world, we do that just by making money online, right? We just do that because we don't have borders. There's lots of ways money can come from distant people, foreigners, foreign places, and foreign shores to increase for now. Or unfortunately, somebody in a hospital wants to give you money. I need to open my window. It is so warm here. See if I can get a cross flow here. That's better. Cross flow. You'll need to buy an AC. Portable AC. And yes, I moved, guys. I'm in my new place. Whew. Well, not really. I'm halfway there. Deadline this Monday. Oh, FYI, I'm recording this early for my Patreon community, ad-free early access. I mean, goodness gracious. This is, I'm recording this way early. What did I just do? I'm recording this on July the 11th. I just lost my screen. That was weird. The screen just disappeared on me. All right. So next thing I want you to know about is I want to mention Mars for a minute more. Did you know that Mars is going to travel for a long time in your third house? Because I'm talking about him with Mercury. I would like to mention, so here we have, by the way, someone in a hospital. Someone in a hospital can be very generous and give you money. So an inheritance of some sort. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, Mars will be here August 6th to September 22nd in your third house. This is going to indicate travel. Usually it means travel. You'll travel somewhere you've been before, maybe. Well, not necessarily. You'll travel. You'll travel shorter distances to places that are somewhat familiar, not too exotic, not too foreign to your temperament. So look for that. This is a house of siblings. Siblings travels to see you. You travel to see siblings, sibling connections through travel. There's that. So this travel energy is going to be quite sustainable, August 6th to September 22nd. A lot of you will take trips. Even just weekend getaways will be very sustainable here. And it's also really good for additionally for hard work applied to projects of the third house. You know, you're going to write something, you set up a website, you're going to market something, you're going to sell something. You're maybe applying for some kind of, well, you could apply for local jobs with this energy. Mercury Mars is like, I'm going to get a job at the local gym, the local restaurant, the local anything local. So there's that, all that energy for you going on for quite a long time. Moving past the Mars story and the Venus trine the North Node, we're moving on August the 19th to the Sun trine Chiron. Now, the Sun is shining a big, bold, light energy into Leo, and Chiron is in the sign of Aries. This is a wound that may have been bothering you, but I don't feel like I'm really on purpose. Or you might have gotten, as I said, guides, advisors, coaches, or ministers, or rabbis to guide you, but nonetheless, you might have been feeling like you want to stick a landing on a deeper purpose. Maybe I should go back to school. And Chiron is flowing to the Sun, and this energy is extremely useful. You can use this energy around August the 19th, a day or two before, to move with great solar power your energy of your bright light of the Leonine courage and heart into some alignment with purpose. But it could hook you up with a guide, a mentor, a teacher, or an opportunity to travel to a foreign place to learn something. And with Mercury in your first house, there's exchanges of information. You pick up the email, you respond, someone responds back to you, the phone call, you pick it up, they call you, you call back. There's something going on around all this chatter to do with being on purpose, traveling to distant shores, all of that. Maybe applying for a university or college and getting a back and forth going around August 19th. In the fourth week of August, we have a moon and 4 big events. Let's break it down. The moon is going to be at 0 degrees of Virgo. 0 degrees of Virgo is in your money house, your second house of earnings and resources. When the moon gets here on August 21st and 22nd, it's hard to get everybody over. There they are. There's going to be a fresh start or a new beginning. So I'd say August 23rd, 24th, you get to feel like something new is trying to happen in the dark moon. You're planting a new seed to develop a new financial direction. The South Node is there. You want to let go of something old, no longer works for you, that no longer serves you, as they say, in the money earnings phase of your life or the way you make money. The new beginning, fresh start also could have you let go of food styles that do not work for you, do not serve your body, do not feel good inside of you. This can definitely, in the sign of Virgo, look like a dietary habit style change. At the same, especially with things that can support better digestion with the sextile from Jupiter to the South Node. Just digestive issues and health, microbiome health are being looked at through dietary style and new beginnings. That said, addictions can be also released at this point. Now, this new moon is also squaring Uranus. So there's a surprise here, surprising developments, and it's run by Mercury. So it's not going to really be all that. You might be surprised by things that you are thinking, ideas that you have, or communications that you're uttering, as this new beginning is in the house of speech. And you may have a surprising development with a sibling, one older than you, and what you have to communicate or speak to that sibling, for example. Also, there may be a breakthrough financially in your career, money gains, earnings, or long-range goals and dreams. And you are planting a new financial seed with a breakthrough energy. You may get something unexpectedly fresh and new in the work environment. You could get a positive new job off of this if you're looking for work. Mercury's still opposite Pluto, more or less. So you could have a very critical turning point conversation about money with a spouse as well. So there's a lot going on here, but all said and done, it's a 6-month story. This new moon plants a new seed around the 23rd, 24th, that over the first couple of weeks, maybe up to 3 or 4 weeks after that, you'll say, oh, this is the new beginning in my finances. I understand it. You want to lean more into being able to make money, less hustle, less work smart, not hard, more expansion of the money that makes money that you already have, more passive or residual income, more, rely on that inheritance money or rely on chunks of money the government's giving you. Don't work so hard, maybe. So new beginnings around even letting go of some kind of work that you have been doing in order to make room for something new. All right, that's the new beginning. That's the new moon, and it's in Virgo. With the South Node, it hasn't happened like this since 2006 and 2007. Did you let go of an earnings strategy? Did you let go of a work strategy, a job? Did you quit a job, end a job, start a new job? How did it go back in 2006, 2007? All right, so then, if you're old enough to compare notes, then we see at the same time Venus squaring Chiron. So we already saw on the 19th the Sun trine Chiron, Venus squaring Chiron here. Now that's happening pretty well on the 23rd and 24th. And 22nd, 23rd, 24th. The energy is to go with what brings you pleasure and enjoyment in your life, even if it means coming to terms with a critical turning point decision. Maybe you have to let go of something too. Maybe you have to say a no to something. No to that foreign land travel. No to that academic offer. No to that book publishing deal. I don't know. Maybe you're thinking, this is not my cup of tea. I just got asked to write an encyclopedia and I can't stand the idea of it. This isn't my cup of tea. I got an offer to go off to this university or college and I don't want that one. It's not going to bring me the goodness I really am wanting from this opportunity. This is very pilgrimagey too, with Venus squaring Chiron, or a falling out with a spiritual guide, or a breaking away or cutting away from some spiritual retreat that you plan, maybe even something you were planning to do with a romantic partner or a marriage partner that involved retreats, teaching, learning, traveling, and maybe saying no. Maybe that's not your cup of tea. You're doing what you want. I'll say one thing for you guys, Leo. Spend some time alone. Jupiter exalts your 12th house for the next year until next July. And you get goodness, prosperity, juice, creativity, fertility, and blessings in your solitude. So there may be this yearning for more aloneness, and Venus is going to try to get it, even as other things are drawing you to be more outward. And you're going to heal that chironic wound to be on purpose and lean into meaning. Look, listen to your inner teacher, your inner guru for what is meaningful and true for you, that also that is enjoyable and pleasurable for you. August the 24th, the sun squares Uranus just for the day. All right. So the sun will move opposite square Uranus here. You've already had some tension here with the new moon squaring Uranus, but now the sun is the next day after the new moon exactly squaring Uranus. So it makes it for like, oh, the 23rd and 24th of the month are kind of intense. You're really trying to figure out what to do about that money situation and that breakthrough energy in the house of career gains. Something has to give. You might make a decision, take an action, say yes to that opportunity. It may come through a friend, ally, benefactor, a sibling one older than you. With the moon also bumping into the south node, you may be letting go of the said opportunity. Maybe you're saying a no when you feel you should say a yes, or saying a yes when you should say a no. Pay attention to those themes. The sun is going to help you make a more pure and true decision. The sun is shining in the earnings house, but the south node is there. Maybe it's not all about the money. Maybe it's about enjoying your life. Or maybe it goes against your values. You know, the job opportunity, the work opportunity, the money opportunity is not in alignment with your second house values, which are quite Puritan, by the way. So funny. Donald Trump, you know, is a Leo rising and his second house is Virgo. And it makes people very fastidious, you would think, right, about what they put in their mouth. And he's famous for putting burgers and fries in his mouth. That makes me laugh because that's contrary to the Virgo purity. But he also is, what do you call it, like OCD and afraid of germs. So that makes sense too. Then on August 25th and 6th, Venus trine Saturn. Yeah, that's not too bad. Venus will move across the sign boundary into Leo. By the way, she will be in Leo from about August 25th to September 19th. And that's another great thing for you. Holy glow up. Really, like, say yes. You look better. You're more beautiful. You're more charming. You're more charm offensive. You're more persuasive. You're more self-loving, and others love you more because you just glow like a diva or a devo. You're looking good. You're feeling good. This is a nice transit for you guys every year. This year, it's happening, as I said, August the 25th to September the 19th. So you may as well take advantage of it. And with Mercury here, it makes you doubly persuasive. Mercury doesn't leave till September 18th. So best thing I can say, August 25th to September 18th, you get what you want because you're charming in your persuasion, your communication, your speech, your writing, everything. It's time to speak truly for what you want. Venus opposite Pluto when this occurs is going to be about the power of love, or the love of power, but in your relationship to your audience marketplace or your significant long-term partnership. Again, there's a lot going on with Pluto there. And first, Mercury activates Pluto, now Venus. What do you got to talk about with someone important to you in your life? That said, enjoy the glow up that you have. And Venus does act protective of your health. So 25th to the August, September 19th, you should be physically well, but also be aware that it's a pregnancy transit for a female who is able to conceive children. So just be aware of that as well during the August 25th to September 19th window of time. Then we're going to move into the next story. What's happening next? I bet you're wondering. Oh, it's a big excitement here. The Venus trine Saturn story is going to align you with purpose and meaning in your life. This is really important because you're dealing with that chironic wound. What's my true purpose? Are you my purpose? Are you my meaning of life? What am I doing here? Well, Venus is trying to glow it up in a first in a lifetime, trying to a Saturn-Neptune conjunction in your ninth house. So if you've been having trouble locking and loading or getting a dock on that purpose, docking, you're like a docking station, this is it. You're going to start to feel, oh my God, something's going to incite a little bit of joy, a little bit of giddiness, a little bit of glee, of a very satisfied Venus lining up with that placement of purpose. Now, There's other meanings to the ninth house. Well, you feel this thing on the 25th, 26th, 27th of the month, 26th, 27th, especially. You could find an opportunity for travel that's going to be very pleasurable and very much in alignment with your values. And certainly with Mars in the third house, that could be travel with siblings or travel to siblings. And with Venus sextiling Uranus, traveling with an older sibling. So there's sibling energy going on here for sure, August the 26th. And if you wanted to travel to a sibling, with a sibling, or for siblings, or anything to do with siblings, the answer is yes. This is going to look good on you. Also, you're so lucky that you can get unexpected career gains. Kaboom. And that's thank you, Uranus, for the divine download of awakening my career gains. And me, Venus, I'm just the queen who says, yes, I'll take those gains. I deserve them. Okay. You're very entitled right now. You're on your diva stool. What we see next at the end of the month is Mercury finishes the Chironic wound. Now, I don't want to belabor this, but if you go back to 2019, a Chironic wound about meaning, purpose, using your Dharma, being in alignment with Dharma, true purpose, true north, that kind of vibed out for you. Maybe some wounds around higher education, missing the mark, going to the wrong school, not finishing your studies. Maybe since 2019, failed trips to foreign lands, challenges with foreign lands, teachers, guides, and mentors and coaches who let you down, and on we go. I mean, I know a lot of Leos have traveled the world studying with different teachers since 2019 or online for foreign teachers. You know what I mean? So anyway, you've been in the thick of it. But now Mercury trine Chiron. The last you had a healing August 19th with the sun. You had another pitch at the healing of the Chironic wound from Venus, August 21, 22. The last chance saloon, August 31st, Mercury Chiron is information, news, because you've got the Mercury in your sign, you're writing, you're calling, you're talking, you're communicating to something, someone in the ninth house. And it's helping you heal a Chironic wound, back and forth with your spiritual teacher, your mentor, your guide, your coach, your therapist, and resolving something. A Chironic wound regarding a father or father figure in your life. You're resolving it through communication mechanisms, ideas, and you're just communicating during that time. On the other hand, you could have an idea come to you that you would enjoy. Thank you, Venus. It's alignment with your purpose, and you say yes. And hallelujah, that's August 30th to August 31st that story takes place, courtesy of Mercury flowing to the Chironic story. And that's what we've got for you. I hope I went the full 30 minutes, like 25 to 30 minutes. I think I went over. I feel bad about you guys always saying you get short shrift in the all signs content on my regular videos. I don't know that that's true all of the time, but I always try to explain that a lot of signs have a lot more going on at this time with the eclipse cycles and stuff, and they get more attention from me. And then at some point the signs will get less and others will get more. But if I'm doing Leo's shorter videos, I'm not aware of that. I'll try to pay more attention. All right. Thanks for listening, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Come study with me at Sky Reader in the fall. Love to have you. Why swim upstream when you can take your floaty tube and go downstream and have a fun ride? That's what astrology can bring you, an opportunity to understand why things are happening in your life. So you don't feel like a victim, opportunities to see which is the direction of flow, what the priorities are in any given age and in any given time in your life. I'm going to give you some great navigational tools in a simple way, and also teach you how to read the basics of your sky, all in 6 weeks, which is crazy, but I think I can do a pretty good job of it. I've graduated over 500 people from that class. So please come join me, and I'd love to see you there. This is my 6th time teaching. Be well, take care, and I will see you hopefully on my channel, because I know you guys liked and subscribed, right? And hit that notification bell. See you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.